Welcome to the official TilliT demo. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll be guiding you through a comprehensive walkthrough of the TilliT platform to better understand what it actually looks like out on the factory floor. But first, a brief overview of TilliT. TilliT is a do-it-all digital manufacturing platform consisting of these main components: production scheduling, digital work order, OEE downtime recording, paperless quality, digital workflow, and SOP knowledge management. But let's dig deeper. We think about starting with an ERP, where we maintain master data. We have our supply chain planning, building planned orders as a master production plan. And after TilliT, you may want to draw information on raw material consumption, production order confirmation, and positive release. TilliT is a digital platform that will actually connect to machines, PLC, SCADA, IoT sensors, and what we're after is order progress, how much you've produced so far, how fast are you going. We're interested in events, and additionally a couple of time series. We can then push it into a reporting layer. Information that we can collect from TilliT includes order information, performance, your OEE, all the activity submission, meaning who did what when, how fast, process variables, all the quality measurements that were captured or any of the time series, and also events, accounts, durations, and more. Working with TilliT involves working between two primary modules. The first module is TilliT's production scheduler. TilliT's production scheduler is all about what are you producing and what are you going to produce. It's a Gantt planning system. You can see the different production lines, the different orders, what order is currently running, how fast it's running, and check its progress in real time. You can also change what areas of production you want to see on the interface. Right now, we're looking at order status. We can see the order's completion status, if the order is ready for production, or as we said before, if it's currently running. But you can also look at things like, do we have a date violation constraint? Or is the order late? Maybe there's a characteristic of the product that you're making. In this case, we're making wine. And in that case, you want to see the different wine colors. Then you can see the changeover happening between a wine color transition. Let's take a look at a day in the life of a production scheduler. We have our schedule currently running. We can see what order is running right now. We can see what's about to happen, including the upcoming days beyond the frozen horizon. And you want to be able to take unscheduled orders into your production schedule, which is really easy to do. You can see these unscheduled orders down the bottom here. We simply take one of these unscheduled orders and drag and drop them into our schedule. Once we do this, they'll be marked as planned and be visible across the production line within TilliT. We can do that again, and you can see the different orders clearly visible in the schedule. Alternatively, once you've got your orders in the schedule, you can use the TilliT Optimizer. To use this, you click on the optimizer here, and we're going to run an efficient optimization to get a quick answer in about 2 to 5 minutes. You can see that I ran one earlier here, and our new optimization is beginning. We'll let that run and come back in just a few minutes. Okay, our optimization is now finished. One thing we can do now is compare. Let's go ahead and compare what our manually scheduled activities looked like before, you can see that above, versus our optimized schedule now, below. One way the optimizer can make light work of our scheduled activities is by organizing activities by our different product characteristics. Again, in this case, we can see our wine color is being optimized in the schedule by grouping some of the wine colors together to avoid a changeover during production. Now, if I'm happy with the optimized schedule, I can hit apply. And it's as easy as that. It's now my new schedule. As you can see, it was only applied to orders that were outside my freeze horizon. All right, this is great. We have our scheduled plan. Now let's jump into TilliT's second primary function, our digital operations module for execution. It's now time to publish our schedule to the shop floor for it to be executed and produced. In TilliT's digital operations module, we can see our asset list. I have 2 lines for this winemaking example on this site, but I have another site with line 3 that we scheduled earlier. If I click on line 1, I can see the different assets operating on that line. We have a depalletizer, a filler, and a palletizer. You can see in real time what the asset is doing. At the moment, it's in running state, and it's been running for 12 minutes. You can see what order is running and the progress of that order. The outer ring here is the order progress, and the inner ring is the daily progress. You can also switch to a metrics view. TilliT's metrics view calculates the availability, performance, and quality of the last 3 hours to provide an overall equipment effectiveness rating to get insights into how your machines are running. Let's address the OEE capability straight away. Calculating OEE relies on a powerful event engine enabled by IoT sensors or by existing control systems, notifying us of an asset stoppage or slow running event, for example. A downtime event can trigger an activity to operators, supervisors, or maintenance staff to enter a stoppage reason according to your downtime reason hierarchy. Or we can automatically capture equipment information, such as a fault code from a PLC or onboard control system, so the operator doesn't have to enter it. At TilliT, we believe OEE is only a small part of manufacturing performance. We put production at the center of everything. As a result, we also focus on manufacturing orders. Once I select one of these assets, I can jump into the order list. Our order panel shows us a nice visual chart of how our day is looking on the shop floor. As the day goes by, the dark shade will start to fill the light shade, and you'll be able to visualize at different points in the day how you are tracking in line with your targets. If we look at this order that's running, we can see it's behind schedule. We can see the OEE of the order, how much has been rejected so far, and how much has been produced, and the state of that order, that it's currently running. For our example, I'm going to complete this order now. Once you complete the order, it's moved out of the list. You can always bring it back if you need by filtering the completed order here. But I want to move on to this new order, which is my next scheduled order. As a supervisor, as an operator, the first thing I want to do is to get this order ready for production. I like to go into the details of the order and check, what are we producing? How much? If there's any notes for that order, are there any characteristics such as labeling and so on? Because TilliT is a digital workflow, you can actually check the workflow of this order. If I click on this workflow icon at the top right, I can see what's going to happen with this order. Everything is about events in TilliT. When the order ready kicks in, I'm going to do a pre-start check. If that passes, I'm going to do approval to start. But let's see how that works. I'm going to ready the order. You can see that I now have an open activity. I didn't have any before. I'm going to open that activity. And this is a user activity. So as a user, I can look at the activity, and if I'm going to execute it, I'm going to claim it. When you claim an activity, the list across TilliT's interface changes to show the person has claimed the activity, providing added visibility for all personnel on the shop floor and in management. If I'm a new employee and I'm not really sure how to perform this activity, I can always open the SOP. Here is the SOP for this example activity, with any instructions or images that may be helpful to onboard new users into the platform. And then I simply go and execute the activity. If we want to say the pre-start check failed, I can do that. And attach an image or take a photo if you're using a tablet or phone. And below is an easy to fill form featuring sophisticated elements like a real-time feed from a PLC or a sensor or anything that we can pick up from our edge devices. If I try to submit it, it will prompt me to make a comment because I'm letting TilliT know that the machine failed the test. I'll put in a comment here and now I can submit. With this, I now get a retest because it failed. So here's my chance to actually pass the test once I fix the issue. So the TilliT workflow is now saying, well, if you've passed the test, our pre-start check, I want to see an approval to start. I can claim this task, pass it, and submit. Then I can tell the operator to start the order. The starting of the order can also be automated if you have a SCADA or other system that knows what order you're running. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Because I started the order and I get all these different tasks that potentially go to different operators, so the whole point is to synchronize everybody's work. And if that starting of the order is actually synchronized with the machine with the press of a button on a SCADA system or an HMI, this is where you get that benefit of synchronizing equipment and humans. An example is our volume check here, where we have some calculations happening. If I fill out this form, as I'm entering the figures, you'll see it will start to calculate the average fill based on the full weight minus the empty bottle weight divided by the density. And that density was filled on the first pre-start check. So this is interesting to be able to use that data you've just entered a short while ago. We can do all our simple calculations like checking out the label height alignment, and every one of these tasks you can see when they could fail if they're out of spec, and this would trigger a non-conformance should a failure happen. Another helpful feature is when you're calculating something, so you've got a business rule that is reliant on properties on the materials. And in this case, TilliT's asking us, how many samples do I need to take to the lab? Well, here it's 5. Why is it 5? Because behind this, there's a simple rule that says the answer is 5 if the material has a specific characteristic. And then if I need something that is recurring, or if I need something to be done every X amount of times, I can also have these scheduled to happen every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, whatever suits your needs. So for execution from an operator's perspective, this is TilliT. You start, you complete, you suspend an order as you execute all the activities. And this is how you integrate what has to happen on the shop floor, maintaining your quality assurance and asset performance systems without needing paper and adding that extra layer of visibility for the operator, the manager, and anyone else needing to understand the day-to-day workflow. Now that we've executed an order, we can look at what we can extract from TilliT. Starting with the activity report, which is really about how many activities were issued, how many were completed, how many failed, how many expired. It's a bird's eye view of the work that's happening in the factory. What you can do is navigate through the different areas, the different assets or different orders. If we open the order that we executed together in this demo, you can see here that we can play back every step that happened from the different events to the different forms that were filled with their respective data entered. The final feature we'll look at is TilliT's dashboard. The dashboard allows us to build a simple, stylish, and clean dashboard with different combinations of data points that we're collecting from things that are coming from events, activities, or even productions. All these different data cubes have a set of variables that allow us to plot in different charts. Here is a quality example with an average fill volume or temperature measurement. We can look at downtime. So here is downtime minutes by day, or even stoppage reason as a parameter. Or maybe you want to look at availability and performance over the last few hours for an overall snapshot of OEE. TilliT gives you more for your factory floor. Sign up for a demo today to transform your manufacturing environment. Register today for a free 30-minute live demonstration on gotillit.com.